Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Well, this is the Bleach review for this week. Bleach, Bleach 461 review. Before I go into this, I've already watched 2.5 of someone else's reviews. Phone's review, which, forget about it, he was completely bashing it, and Nostradamus. I'm actually very surprised that Nostradamus gave it what it did. He gave it like a 2.8 out of 4. Well, and Phone always is going to bash it. But I liked what Yokohama Game Talk had to say, and he put it in the description. He said, it wasn't a bad chapter, it was good, it's just, Alright, enough of that. Let's talk about the chapter. Now, starts off where we left off, and Ichigo is fighting Ginjao. He's acting his cocky usual self, and he says, "Oh, I missed. I won't miss the next time." So he continues fighting Ginjao and all this other stuff. And you know what Ginjao does? He says, "Oh, time to escape." He says he's going to retreat, and Ichigo grabs him and throws him on the fucking thing. So that's what occurs. And then Ichigo does another Getsuga Tensho, and the name of this chapter was called Turn Another Corner, I believe. Turn Another Corner. So while that's just going on, Igaku, Renji, and Ichigo's thinking about everybody else. He's thinking about, Shinji, Rako, Rangiku, the Captain Command. He's thinking about everybody. So, we get details from Renji about, the Captain Commander and what he did. And he basically ordered, and he basically told Uehana, he told Kisuke, we're indebted to Ichigo Kurosaki for helping us, so now it's our turn to help him. And then he's ordering all the captains and lieutenants to give their Rezetsu to the sword. Now, Monte Godzilla commented on me saying, "Oh, the injustice that he did." I partially agree, but the truth of the matter is, I think it's a matter of honor. I don't think it's a matter of, and he says we're going against our customs doing this. So he mentions it to everybody. So it's like we turned a page on that. It's no longer, they trust Ichigo so much that they're really willing to do an injustice to help him out. So that's what occurred in that regard, in that exchange. And that's how we find out how he got the sword. And then Itsugai continues talking to Ichigo, telling him, and the second reason was, oh, by the way, the backgrounds in this chapter was very bad. Very bad. But Itsugai goes on to say, the second reason did this was because of him. He says a long time ago there was a first substitute Soul Reaper who disappeared, who left and abandoned his post and disappeared. And his name was Ginjao. I'm going to say this only once. I'm not going to give this a 4 out of 5 because it does not deserve a 4 out of 5. Listen, everybody on YouTube are entitled to their own opinion. Nostradamus, Phone, Yokohama Game Talk, everybody. They're all entitled to their own opinion. But now I'm going to suggest something that I really shouldn't suggest. But Kubo has forced my hand. He has forced my hand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I first started watching this show, when I started reading the manga, even when I started watching the first episode on Adult Swim, you know what this reminded me of, this show? Abruptly? when you consider the Soul Society, Ichigo, and the fact that Rukia gives him their powers, the fact that there's a Weko Mundo and there's a Hell and they're hollows and you consider them demons. You know what this show reminded me of? Yu Yu Hakusho. In Yu Yu Hakusho, you have Yusuke Urameshi, right? After the Dark Tournament, later in the other arc, which concerned these people with special powers, there's this person named Sungsui. And Yusuke finds out there was a first spiritual detective, and he's the second. Now, let's go back to Bleach. I know I'm going to get bad comments on this. And I know I shouldn't take this seriously. But can someone please explain to me why Kubo is doing this? I have no... Listen, the way he went about with the Soul Reapers and bringing them, yeah, it's fine. That's fine. The backgrounds, it's a problem. But is Kubo stealing ideas from a different show by having Ginjo the first substitute Soul Reaper? But you know what? I should have seen this coming. We all should have seen this coming. You know how? The title of the arc, what Ginjo was saying to Ichigo in the beginning with the first substitute Soul Reaper, we should have seen this coming. And the title of the arc was what? Lost Shinigami Representative Badge. So, I'm going to do not say anything bad what I just said. Okay, it's a little bit similar to what I just said to you, in a way. But, this was a good chapter. He is progressing. Kubo is progressing the story in some way. So I'm going to give him a shot. Going to give him a chance. However, I have to further see what he means. But then again, when I think about it, I mean, it is similar. But you know what? Not really. I mean, you can say it's similar, but I mean, look around the other animes and they probably do the same thing. If an author gets ideas from a different show and he's not plagiarizing it, then, But like I said, I give this 3.5 hollow icons out of 5. It was good. We will leave it at that. I think that we now know the explanation behind the sword and we can move on. Next week, hopefully, we'll get some more deep fighting between them. Listen, Phone really went crazy on it, and he just saying that it was out of the blue, but actually everybody should have seen this coming. Yeah, everyone should have seen this coming. Yeah, really, everyone should have seen this coming. Tell me what you guys think. Comment below. Do you guys think Kubo was in the wrong by having this whole business with Ginjo being the first substitute Soul Reaper? First substitute Shinigami? Do you think that's bullshit? Do you think Kubo should have never done that? This is a huge mistake, and we all should just stop reading this show? Just throw it out! Throw it out! Tell what you guys think. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, I'm not giving up on this show. I'm not throwing this out. I'm not going to stop watching it. I'm not going to stop reading it. I will tell you this. There is only one way Kubo will lose me. After this arc is over. After this thing with the Fullbrings is over. If we go into this whole business, if there is, hopefully there is, of this Soul King. If we go into that, and he doesn't even mention Aizen. We don't see him. There is nothing about him. He's in prison, and that's where he stays, and we're not going to see him, and he's not involved, then I got a problem. That's when I'll stop. If someone dies that's important to the show, character that I like, then I will stop. If Kubo makes a drastic change to these characters and fucks up his show so badly I can't even recognize it anymore, then I'll stop. So for now, we move on. We move on. About 10 minutes. We move on. Um, you know? But if he does fuck it up really bad, I probably won't review it for a while. But we'll see. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. So, this is Bonkai 922. See you guys later.